Hi everyone, responding to questions that seem to try to get at more about who I am beyond just my resume. So here's my attempt at that. For the last couple of decades, I have been laser focused on my own personal development and emotional healing and growth. And then starting in 2012, that same kind of focus, I turned it to my clients and my patients. Um, that leg of the journey in terms of being laser focused on my growth and personal development, it started in 2001. But before that, I was born into a larger vision for what it means to be human. I was born into a Waldorf or anthroposophical community, so I'm a Waldorf kid. For those that don't know what that means, that's basically a cousin to Montessori. But it's basically where there was tremendous value placed on being a nonconformist and not necessarily subscribing and adhering to mainstream social values and norms, but instead learning how to think for yourself, fostering moral, ethical, emotional development, social development, artistic, theatrical development. And then the academics, they were there, but it took a little bit of a back seat. So the whole idea was to sort of try to foster and nourish the development of the entire human being, not just the intellect and the academics. So that was the vision in which I was born into and grew up in that environment until 15 when we moved to the States and I started public U.S. high school. And that was a bit of a change of pace, right? Let me tell you. But anyway, the real personal growth journey, it started in 2001. I was actually in Sweden at that point, and I enrolled at a local community college, and it was a physical theater program. So that was about running barefoot in the forest, learning how to juggle with fire, singing in choirs, putting on these theater performances. That helped me get out of my shell. After that, I made a beeline to a semi-monastic Zen Buddhist training center in upstate New York, the Rochester Zen Center, founded by Roshi Philip Kapleau in the 1960s after his training stint in Japan. And I lived there for a year and a half. So that was about 4 hours of meditation every day, and then every other month we had this, I think it was about 6 day long retreat where you'd basically stare at a wall for 15 hours a day or so. You'd get up at 3:30 in the morning and meditate till 10 or 11 at night, and they would whack you with a stick right here and right here just to keep you awake. So that was an experience and a half. I'm sure you can imagine that happened about every other month, and I was there for a year and a half. After that, I had my own therapy, and that was transforming. That was life-changing. I knew at that point I'd spend the rest of my life returning the favor and that I wanted to be a therapist, so I enrolled in a community college and started my academic trajectory and path to becoming a therapist. I've always had a very, very strong drive. So, for example, when my mom gave birth to me, she doesn't tire to tell me the story that it always felt like this cannonball was coming out of her. And so I've always sort of gone all in whatever I do and given 100%. So I did that also in college, and I did quite well. Got a 4.0. The math, though, didn't come easy. I actually had to see a tutor daily for about an hour every day. So I pulled it off and I did really well, but math was not easy. That was actually a byproduct of the Waldorf education because they really de-emphasized the academics there in favor of sort of more of a total development of the whole human being. Then after that, I continued to sort of work on myself through attending various meditation retreats over the years and just doing my own inner work. And then in 2012, I hired Marvin Scorman, who was Davinlu's right-hand man in the late 1980s. And I hired him for weekly supervision. Most of that was individual one-on-one, but some of it was group supervision as well. So that was a very immersive, intense experience. We saw each other till he retired at the end of 2021. He sanctioned me to teach in 2017, and I've been supervising quite a bit and teaching ever since. So I'm in private practice. 40% of what I do is teach and supervise, and 60% is I see clients. As an adjunct, I also supervise Rochester Institute of Technology faculty in ISTDP, as well as graduate level social work students at the Arizona State University. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty adverse to talking about myself, but I thought, if people want to get a real sense for who I am beyond my resume, I think they should know. So anyway, there you have it.